Hey, it's me, Ashley. I know it's been a minute since I've done any kind of recording. I know actually it's been like a month since I've done any kind of review, and I did a video like over the weekend being kind of silly, saying I was gonna get back into the swing of things, and that's what I'm trying to do now. And this particular video is going to be an introduction into the next series that I'm going to be reviewing, which is the Sleeping Beauty Trilogy. And what inspired me to get back into that was I read it before, like in high school, and I liked it back then, although back then it kind of shocked me a lot because I wouldn't say I was innocent, but I don't think a 16, 17-year-old had any business reading that stuff. But let's just say it opened my eyes, but it grabbed my attention, which was cool. And I came across the books again like in Barnes & Noble, a place that I frequent very often. And I was actually in the fiction section and the Anne Rice section because I'm trying to get back into a vampire series. And I came across the Sleeping Beauty trilogy, and it kind of bothered me because, one, they changed the covers of the books. Like, I have the original ones that have like the Renaissance ladies, like the half-naked women on the front. And now they updated the covers to where it's just a boring black and white print. They have orchids on the front. I guess they were trying to make it more contemporary, or just, trying to make it more conservative and more mainstream. But what pissed me off the most is that now that freaking series, it just says, if you like 50 Shades of Grey, you'll love this series. And it pissed me off because I didn't like 50 Shades of Grey. I really didn't. But I was a fan of the Sleeping Beauty trilogy. So I just thought it was kind of screwed up that that's going to be tainted with that now. But it got me to read the series again because I'm like, well, hopefully, let me see if there is a comparison. And I will admit there is some kind of comparisons, but if you want to say there's a comparison, let's just say E.L. James ripped off of Anne Rice. I'll just say it. It's as simple as that. I think E.L. James read the series and was like, I could write this. I could completely do this and make it contemporary, but she did a shitty job at it. And that's all I'll say about it. But alright, so I don't want to get into a big ass rant, but it got me back into the series. And reading it again, I liked it a lot, and it inspired me to actually do reviews on it. So hopefully, if I push myself, I can have all 3 books reviewed by Christmas. But fingers crossed. So I'm recording this video just to give some little interesting facts about it, and hopefully I'll have book number 1 recorded by this week and maybe uploaded by next week. So let me just go into some cool facts about the book. First of all, it was written by Anne Rice. If you don't know who Anne Rice is, she did Interview with the Vampire, and she did other books like Exit to Eden, which may seem familiar to some people. It may not. And this particular series, the Sleeping Beauty trilogy, is loosely based on the fairy tale of Sleeping Beauty. She did 3 books. The Claiming of Sleeping Beauty, which was written in 83. Beauty's Punishment, which was written in 84, the year I was born. And Beauty's Release, which was written in 1985. And just a small premise of the series is it's erotic BDSM set in medieval times. So needless to say, the language in the book is kind of old-timey. I guess I'll say it like that. But the cool thing about it is when you're reading it, it flows. It's not it's not like how it's kind of shitty and I'm about to say it's like, when I read Shakespeare sometimes, like I ever do, but like the few times I had to in high school, I would read that stuff and just be like, huh? But like the way it's written in this particular series, it flows and then you kind of get into it kind of easily. So it's written in like medieval times, and it's written in like, ye old English kind of ish, but it flows easily. But basically it follows the sexual adventures of the female protagonist, Beauty, and her interactions with the supporting male characters, Alexei, Tristan, and Laurent. And I just want to go into some cool facts about the trilogy. It was actually a bestseller, and it actually out-earned her popular novel, Interview with the Vampire, so I thought that was kind of nifty to learn that. And audio versions of the book were released in, I want to say 1994. The first book was actually the actress Amy Brenneman. She may seem familiar to some people. She read Beauty on the first audiobook. And a really nifty fact that I thought was kind of funny, the second book, Beauty, was actually the person, Elizabeth Montgomery, if you don't know who that is from Bewitched, she actually read Beauty on the second book, and that just kind of blew my mind, like, holy shit, that lady doing Beauty's part. So I just thought it was funny. And like I said before, this book was a bestseller, and it actually helped her earn publishing for her next book, Exit to Eden. Some people might be familiar with it. It was made into a mediocre movie in the early 90s, and there's been talks that there may be a remake of it. I hope there is, because it's actually a decent book. It was actually erotic, and just the way it got turned into a movie, they were trying to make it more into a comedy as opposed to what the story really was. So if they do a remake of it, hopefully they'll do it right this time. So I thought that was kind of cool. Another fact is, I mean, there's natural controversy about the series. It was written in the 80s. And back then, there was talks that Anne Rice herself was dominatrix. And, of course, that wasn't the case. And actually, she was a little, I wouldn't say repulsed, but she was kind of unnerved by the people that actually participated in BDSM. And she said her brief encounters with, her few brief encounters with some of those people got her to discontinue the trilogy. I guess out of moral repulsion. I guess it just kind of unnerved her a little bit and overwhelmed her. She was overwhelmed by the actual practice of it, I guess. But, like I said, there was natural controversy. And actually, the Columbus Metropolitan Library declared the book hardcore porn and actually removed it from shelves in like 1996. And Rice tried to defend her work and try to say it was just sensual, written sensually. It's not meant to be hardcore pornography. But, it was written in the 80s, and there's, it tested boundaries. And even to this day, you can say the series tested boundaries. And hopefully, if I do these reviews right, people can get into it. And because I'm not really familiar with BDSM. I'm really not. But I feel 50 Shades of Grey gave a bad misinterpretation of it, and this particular series, the Sleeping Beauty trilogy, gave a better idea of it, or it was just written better, I thought. So hopefully, like I said, by this week I'll have the first review at least recorded, maybe upload it by next week, and because I already started working on the outline for it, and I enjoyed the series a lot, and hopefully. I hate the fact that it's now linked forever with 50 Shades of Grey, but if people really read into it and aren't shocked by the content, they'll see the comparison, but they'll see that this is more of a well-written series than 50 Shades of Grey. So hopefully, like I said, the first review should be up. I want to say maybe this weekend, but I'll push for like next week. That's more realistic. And whoever watches these, thank you for being patient with me, and I will have things to come very soon, so thanks.